We're on. We're live. God, that took some time, didn't it? Predictions. If I keep looking up here, that's not because I'm boz-eyed. It's because all my notes that I've written down for who I think is going to win is up here. So first and foremost, let's get things underway. So I normally go with bets 365 with my betting in general, but because Sky Bet are doing 10 places each way at a fifth odds, that's what I'll be going with this year. I think it's a good idea, and most of these predictions there's no risk, but because it's that wide of a field, I think each way is a good thing, and playing 10 places, you just got more chance of winning money, haven't you? So, right, without further ado, my main pick this year for the Masters is going to be Justin Rose. He finished second last year behind Sergio Garcia, lost in a playoff. He had a tied 10 in 2016. He was tied second the year before. And the year before that, he had a top 20 finishing 15th. So with other bookmakers, he's 14-1, but with Sky Bet offering the 10 odds, 10 places each way, he's 11-1. So I think he's definitely my favourite this year. Mr. Consistency. He's been in good form most of the year. So Justin Rose is my first pick. Secondly, the man himself. Who do I want to win most? It's Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a 4-time Masters winner. I'm led to believe if he wins again, it'll be his 5th, and it will be his 15th major in total. It'll feel like a 19th, though, I think, if he wins this one. That's safe to say. And I feel, though, he's peaking just at the right time. I think all different assets of his game are all coming together. He's got, funnily enough, for a guy with a bad back, he's got the highest recorded swing speed on tour this season. So for all those people that said that when he does come back, a lot of people didn't even say that. But they said when he does come back, his body won't be the same. He's swinging it faster than anyone else. So I think that says a lot. He's looked good when he's played. I think he just needs to piece it all together now and put it all together in one tournament. Hopefully this is the one. Tiger Woods is at 12-1. Again, cracking each way bet. Next, my favourite, I think, if I was thinking with my head, I will go with Rory McIlroy. Always fancy Rory McIlroy around the Masters. Natural big high drawer of the golf ball. It suits a lot of holes. If you think about the 10th at Augusta, if you think about the 2nd, the big par 5 where you can wang it round corner with a big high draw, I do think it suits his eye. And of course, he won at Bay Hill a couple of weeks ago. And I think he might now be at peace with his putting. He changed his putter at Bay Hill, won with it. So hopefully, if he can keep it going. I know he struggled a little bit. Did he go out the group stages at the Dell Technologies match play, whatever it was called, that one in Texas? But yeah, I still think he's in good form. And again, 9-1. It's not the best odds, but because they're offering 10 places with the each way betting, I think you can't really go wrong with it. So they're my 3 main favourites. We're going to go Rose, Tiger, McIlroy, all tailor-made staffers. Does that make a difference? No, definitely not. I don't know why I mentioned it. I'm going to think 2 outsiders now. My first one is going to be Patrick Reed. Now, I can't stand the guy personally, but the form that he's been in, he had a good finish at Valspar. He had I think he finished like 9th. Yeah, although it was knockout, I think he finished tied 9th at the Dell Technologies match play. Again, in good form, he's 40-1. That seems like good odds for me, and he's a big game player as well. Always turns up at Ryder Cup, and I think if you put him under that pressure, he will come up trumps for you. So Patrick Reed, 40-1 each way. I think that's a good one. Again, similar to McIlroy, big eye drawer of the golf ball, finds it very natural to hit those right to left shots. And on the holes, like I said earlier, I think it'll benefit him massively. My real outsider this week is Charles Schwartzel. Charles Schwartzel finished 3rd last year behind Justin Rose, and he's a past champion. He won the Masters in 2011. Apart from that, he's not done much, but he has made 6 out of 8 cuts at Augusta National. His odds are 66-1. So again, each way, you can't go wrong. A little bit off the beaten track, this next one. I always like to pick a first round leader out, and I know that Charlie Hoffman is always good for a first round lead. He's 40-1 to be leading after Thursday, and sometimes he has gone low round Augusta National, so that's one to watch out for. Similarly, Bryson DeChambeau, again, has been a first-round leader before. I think it was like 2015, something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I can remember him being in contention, though, because he had a bit of a meltdown coming down 18th when he was playing with Spieth one year. He is 55-1 to be leading after first round. So, again, just a little bit of a funny punt. I won't put much money on them, too. I'll probably put £1 on each, something like that. But, again, it's good odds, and it's something that keeps you interested for most of the week. Interestingly enough, although we spoke about Sky Bet not having the best odds, they are offering a bit of a good price boost, which is either McIlroy or Woods. So it's like a double chance kind of thing to win the Masters 6-1. Good odds, could be worth a tenner in anyone's money, that I think. And finally, we're just going to talk about a few people to avoid. Now, I know Poulter was absolutely mint last week in the Houston Open. He had to win in order to qualify for the Masters. hold a ridiculous 20-25 footer on 18th to get into a playoff, and then he beat Bo Hostler in the playoff. I just think that he might have a bit of an emotional hangover coming into this week, so he maybe want to avoid. Saying that, I do think he'll finish top 20, something like that. I still think he'll have a good finish, but maybe he might have a bit of an emotional hangover and won't be able to push over that winning line. Someone to avoid at all costs, I think, this week is Danny Willett. Since winning the Masters in 2016, 2 years ago now, when Spieth had his meltdown, he's not really done much since. And the problem for Danny, I think, it's a lot to do with his body. I know he's got a bad back. He's had to pull out of a lot of tournaments, and he's not really shown much form. He did show a little bit in the Irish Open, I think it was last year. I thought that might have led to a bit of a resurgence for Danny Willett, but it hadn't really. So I think, unfortunately, Danny might miscut, which is sad to see because he's a local lad. He's from Sheffield near me. And the only other person I think to really avoid are first timers. Now you hear it through all the experienced players that have played Masters before. I heard Billy Foster talking about it recently. He once played a practice round for Seve when he caddied for him. And I think Seve said it took 7 hours to complete one practice round, and he showed Billy every blade of grass, and that was like Seve's 10th Masters, something like that. So I think experience plays a big part around Augusta National with all the undulations on the greens and all the lines off the tees. So if you're going to go for like an outsider, make sure that they've had a bit of history at Augusta. Someone like a Schwartzel. My good friend Gary Camplin did say Matt Kuchar, which is someone I didn't even consider. Matt Kuchar all 2000s, and he's 50-1 again. So if you're looking for that sneaky outside each way bet, he could be a guy. But yeah, apart from that, if you've not subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you do. We've recently hit 100 subscribers. That's absolutely mint. Thank you very much for everyone. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And comment below, let us know who you've bet on for this Masters. It's going to be a good one, isn't it? Like I said, my heart hopes Tiger, my head thinks Rose or McIlroy. So, yeah, let us know how you get on. Thanks for watching. Cheers.